If what I am hearing is true, there will be a hot war in the EU by the end of this year or in the first 6 months of next year.
Mm.
But before I tell you what I've heard, we need a quick geography lesson so that we know what we're talking about. Okay.
Okay.
Now, here comes a geography lesson. The separatist region of Transnistria or Transdniester, a narrow strip of land between the Dniester River in Moldova and the Ukrainian border, broke away from Moldova in 1990. Right?
Okay.
The international community does not recognize its self-declared statehood and the de facto government, which remains in a standoff with Moldova.
Yeah. Okay.
It is economically, politically, and militarily supported by Russia, which has around 1,500 soldiers there. Right?
Right.
A referendum was carried out in 2006 about independence. Once again, Moldova nor the international community recognized the referendum, which, as well as reasserting its independence, also voted in support of ensuing a union with Russia. Okay. After Russia had entered Ukraine in 2022, Ukraine sealed its border with Transnistria, making it reliant on Moldova for its imports. So, you know, if you look at a map,
Yeah.
this little strip of land is relying on its
Yeah.
arch enemy, Moldova, for imports. So,
Oh dear.
the capital, as we all know, you know what the capital of Transnistria is?
Ooh.
It might have slipped under the radar, but anyway,
Yes. Okay.
it's called Tiraspol.
Oh, okay. Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, the region has a population of only 367,000 people and has its own currency, the Transnistrian ruble.
Okay.
It's this micronation, if you will, where all the action will take place. Ukrainian journalist Diana Panchenko has sent a message to Donald Trump about what some players in the West, and it's the same players as always, Macron, Merz, and Starmer, and indeed van der Leyen.
Oh,
they're,
right.
they're plotting to carry out either still this year or the first months of next year to drag Europe into another conflict of war. She says that Zelensky, Macron are going to send the Ukrainian army to attack Moldova. Right?
Right.
Yeah, because you've got Ukrainian,
Yeah.
Transnistria, Moldova.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Understand. Yeah.
Everybody's in on it. Everybody is in on it except for Transnistria. So think about this.
Yeah.
So they're going to send the Ukrainian army to attack Moldova. They want to prevent Trump find peace in the Ukraine conflict and draw closer with Russia, with the Russian regime. Right? The same too are wanting the US population to fund and to continually give the financial support to the Ukraine.
Yeah, the everlasting wars. Yeah.
Right. She said that Zelensky's political team already punched Trump with war, are fearing the escalation, and it was them that told her. So it's in this Transnistria that Zelensky is wanting to attack where Russian troops are, where they're stationed as peacekeepers. Moldovans, Romanians, and Ukrainians are preparing themselves for the attack with the help of Germany. Now, we've mentioned the big three in Europe wanting this face-off with Russia and adding van der Leyen into the mix now, all with failed leaders. All are failed leaders in their own rights. Because even van der Leyen is ready to be toppled as well. So The Moldovan leader is in favor of the invasion, as Moldova has been against the independence of
Yeah.
Transnistria. And so for them, it would be good to get the land back, even though the people don't want it, just like those in Crimea and the Donbass region of Ukraine.
Okay.
Right?
Yep.
The European contingent have a plan where if Ukraine advances west onto Moldova, this will confuse Russia and open the opportunity to ask the US for more money to help Ukraine.
Yeah.
When I say money here, I mean, we're not talking pennies, we're talking billions and hundreds of billions of dollars.
Yes.
As it would appear that Trump didn't get the peace deal, the left in the US would try to use this as leverage in the 2026 elections in the US.
All right.
An MI6 agent has already gone to Moldova to organize the incursion. His name is David Walter Lettany. In early September, he went there.
Right.
Born in New York, but he's a British citizen now.
Okay. Yeah, we know about him. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen his passport.
Mm.
All of this, by the way, this lady is backed up with documentation,
Yeah.
and all the details, right?
Yeah.
So correspondence between the military of Moldova and France settling on late 2025, early 26 for the action to take place. It was approved in France on June the 12th of this year during a meeting between the head of the Moldovan military defense staff and the chief of the defense staff of France. France has been checking on how many Moldovans went to the French Foreign Legion to send them to Moldova to fight.
Right.
On July the 23rd, 24th, the President of Moldova visited King Charles. She also met with defense officials and heads of the intelligence community and representatives of RUSI, which is the Royal United Services Institute. Remember, Johnson went to Ukraine to tell Zelensky to fight on?
Yeah. Yeah, we'll look after you, boy. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Apparently, it was London which had the interest in making this war of all of this. And it was in London where the President of Moldova, Sandu, her name is, signed on the anti-Trump project. So the UK had this anti-Trump project already, and she signed onto it. It would be Macron and Zelensky to execute the plan. The plan is that after the elections in Moldova this year, there will be some provocations made to Ukraine, to which Zelensky should respond. So Moldova is going to, or from within Transnistria, they're going to send a few rockets into Ukraine, right?
Yeah.
And of course, Zelensky will respond. After the confrontation, Zelensky and Sandu, like I said, she's the president of Moldova,
Yeah.
will implement a unique dictatorship and begin mobilizing the populations to get into a war with Russia. The reporter said there were press gang men on the street, and between the heads of state will maintain a dictatorship and make a lot of money off the back of the war. Recently, some Moldovans were captured crossing the Russian border with a van full of explosives. They passed through several European countries freely and were allowed across borders freely until they reached Russia. And then Russia, the van travel up.
Yeah.
It's that several European countries don't want Trump to succeed with peace in Ukraine. Other Eastern countries were approached to carry out this plan, like Georgia,
Yeah.
but they refused. And they were threatened.
Yeah.
And there's a news report of them being threatened, of responding to the threat.
Yeah.
Right. Moldova took them up on the offer, took the Europeans up on the offer to create this false flag to start this war. So this lady, Diana Pishenko, sent the message to Trump to be on his toes.
Yeah.
So to be vigilant. If she's right, it should kick off in a couple of months' time. What could put a spanner in the works is that Trump acknowledges her message and helps Putin out, with Trump declaring it was necessary for world peace. So if Trump stems it and the
Yeah.
UK, the US puts a stop to it straight away
Yeah.
in Moldova and in Ukraine and say
Mm.
it was necessary to do that for world
Yeah.
peace.
Yeah.
So we've got to see what happens.
Mm.
Now, you know that politics is it's always moving. It's
Yeah. Yeah.
always
So, yeah. There's always something happening. Yeah.
right. So as the US is pulling away from Ukraine and spending less on Ukraine,
Mm.
which I mean, the whole idea of this plan was to get the US to spend more,
Yeah.
right? But Trump, I don't know if he's already received this message.
Mm.
He's pulling everything out of pulling everything out of Ukraine,
Yeah.
right? So, as the US is pulling away from Ukraine and spending less, van der Leyen decided to use profits from Russian funds frozen by
Mm.
the EU to the tune of $170 billion.
Mm.
She even made noises about using the principal, which is another $300 billion, which is what the funds are
Yeah.
that belong to fund Ukraine. Once this war starts, they're going to fund Ukraine.
Yes.
If that's
Yeah.
right.
I understand. Yeah. I get that. Yeah.
But some EU countries said it was stealing. Really? It's possible Trump received the message because on his state trip to the UK,
Mm.
he's offering a multi-billion pound deal with AI.
Yeah.
Right. The only setback would be Britain's inability to produce sustained energy to enable the project to go ahead. Right. So it's good talking point
Mm.
as we're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
Same time, Starmer and Putin are doing their press conference.
Yeah.
You know, and
Starman Trump. Yeah. Yeah. Starman
I,
Trump.
I
Yeah.
heard before we came on air, I
Yeah.
heard Starmer boasting about this trade deal with the AI.
Yeah. I saw that.
They've got to be able to sustain it for it to work. Um, Now that could be it could be that if Trump offers the deal, he thinks that the rest of the world would think the UK will be double crossing him when it comes to that when it comes out that Britain wants a war with Russia.
Well. Yeah.
There you
I,
are.
I saw a brief.
It's a lot to chew on.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, yeah, as I say, nature of our podcast. Right. I mean, yes, I saw the footage or just before, yeah, we started to do this, or I was working this morning. Um, I did see, yeah, Trump and Starmer sit next to each other talking about this AI thing from notes. Um, let's put it this way: if I was in a business scenario and I had somebody speaking like that, I would be thinking that I would be looking at it with a slightly cynical eye on what's actually happening. Yeah. Um, I don't know. I mean, like I said, I saw it briefly. I, it's one thing to say something, it's another thing to actually make it happen.
That's
Um,
right.
and I mean, yeah, you can agree any trade deal or anything you want at the moment. Let's make it happen. Okay, it's about AI development. Yeah, as I say, what is AI? Defining what AI is. I mean that as an engineer. I've often looked at this. I prefer to call AI not artificial intelligence, applied information. Yeah, because that's all it is for me. Yeah, okay, it will do clever
Yeah,
things.
I think in this case of there being a hot war in Europe,
Mm,
either the end of this year or the beginning of next, the
mm.
fact that there's a trade deal being offered to the UK is a
Yeah,
minor detail.
as I sort of say, and when you're talking to me, the thing that's going through my mind is the names you're mentioning. At least 50% of those four names aren't going to be in power by Christmas, possibly.
That's right.
Let alone by next year. Now, it's what follows on from that, or are they pushing it so far ahead that it's a trajectory that's going to happen? Um,
Well, the thing is that what if as soon as the EU goes into war,
Mm.
then they're going to have the War Powers Act, martial law, and these people
Yeah,
will stay in power anyway.
that's what I mean. Are they going to? Is that what they're pushing for? Power, power, power at all costs. Um, I mean, yeah. I mean, you just gave me. Well, yes, I knew where Moldova is. I know where other places are. I'd heard rumblings. Yeah. The trouble is, you hear um, insecurity and cries of independence in the Balkans. You tend to accept that as part of everyday life. Yeah. And I mean, obviously, anything that happens in the Balkans, if you know anything about European history, it should make you nervous because we've had two world wars effectively start from there. Yeah,
Of course.
and you're talking about the events, yeah, our Franz Ferdinand moment, or anything could happen to spark the whole region off, and then everyone pile in, lads. Um,
When you get a leader of a country that is not used to having money, and you're offering them more money than they've ever dreamed possible, of course they're going to bend.
yeah, well, before 2014, Ukraine was regarded as one of the most corrupt countries in the world.
Still is.
Well, it is, and be given the means to be so now. Um, and I'm going to be honest, we are, as you quite rightly said, people's right to self-determination. Um, and they're the people I feel sorry for, the people on the ground that are going to suffer because the the people above them are playing are playing games. Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
yeah. Peter Gabriel did a song about this and some
Of
Frontier
course.
many years ago. Um, it's a yeah, sort of bringing popular culture in, but it's something we can all relate to. Um, I'm not very concerned about there being a hot war in Europe, but there does seem to be a determination to have one way or another between certain leaders. Any leaders that seem to want to be outside of it or don't want anything about it are being ostracized, being called all sorts of names. Russian sympathizers, weak, all sorts of things. Weak is when you do actually run headlong into a war and don't try and prevent it. You got to keep talking. Yeah. Maybe, yeah, people have a right to be independent. If I mean, we always talk about people's rights and everything else, the rights of Ukrainians, the rights of these people, the rights of that people. It's the right people we'll always fight for. Yeah. Not the people who seem outside it. Um, the trouble is with giving from the EU point of view, the problem with allowing individual places to suddenly have autonomy is then you're going to have Spain, the Spanish questions arise again, Spain ripping itself into three parts, possibly Italy, possibly the UK again with the Scottish, the Welsh. Um, Northern Ireland's a different question. Northern Ireland's quite straightforward. They're one people already, effectively, the Northern Irish and the Irish are. Yeah. They just like to do the border runs and feel good about getting one over on each other, yeah, on other people. That's all. Um, yeah, I mean, with Ireland, when I saw an Irishman unfurl an Irish flag in London the other day, I thought we've actually made some progress. To cheers, we've actually made some progress in life. Um, and again, Scottish flags and Welsh flags flying. Um, so yeah, but this allowing, I mean, maybe there is a fear of having too much breakups across Europe. Lots of little countries appearing that are going to need some support in one way or another. Yeah, this new fledgling country, like you said, has got the support of Russia. Whatever Russia's might be doing, it might be genuine, semi-autonomous, completely autonomous. Trade,
Autonomous.
yeah,
It's autonomous.
yeah.
It's got its own government,
Oh,
got
yeah.
its own economy, got its own currency.
Well,
But it's just that the countries around it don't recognise it.
yeah, but it's
But
be
but but either way, I mean, the fact that it exists is not the important
mm,
point at this point, apart from the fact that it'll be ground zero from whether, if this is right, what this lady is saying,
yeah,
is there's going to be the ground zero from when it's all going to start by some some bad actors
Yeah.
in Transnistria,
Mm.
sending some rockets into Ukraine.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what is interesting about this, I think, is the fact that the UK has been involved in this, even to sending the
Yeah. An
MI6
agent.
guy
Yeah.
there
Yeah.
in the beginning of this month.
Yeah.
And as far as I know, he's still there. As far as I know, he's still there.
Well, it would seem strange that we know about a secret service, but well, effectively a British secret service, real James Bond stuff. Yeah, like every martini shaken, not stirred, and that in a bar, and that's when it all became apparent. But yeah,
He has been to Moldova before because what the lady showed,
mm,
the receipts that she showed was a visit that he'd done before, and Moldova is very much like here.
mm,
You're stamped in and you're stamped out,
yeah,
right? And so far, is this last in beginning of September has only been stamped in.
mm,
So as far as I know, it's still there.
yeah,
And
yeah.
and I find it interesting that Keir Starmer is is saying, how nice it is for you to be here, Mr. Trump, when really the whole idea of being anti-Trump,
Yeah.
it comes from the UK.
Well,
And so you could argue that it wasn't Starmer himself that started it off.
mm,
However, he has the power to stop it.
well, he's running with the ball one way or another.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
it'd be interesting. Um, very nerving, very unnerving. Um, again, yeah, I knew enough. Well, I'll say I didn't know about all this, and you've brought something to the table that's very interesting here. There's something worth watching, possibly.
Well, let's just put it like this: if during the next 6 months
Mm.
uh, there's an attack on Ukraine from the west,
Well, no,
right?
yeah,
You know that it's been planned well ahead,
mm.
and everybody, even Ukraine, is in on it.
Yeah. It's almost like gangsters, isn't it? All playing against each other.